and make the play according to what the defense is given. If you have nothing, if it's going to be a 2v7, the chances of you going forward and have the ball in a good scoring opportunity is the chances are not nil to nothing. So it's a matter of bringing it back, keep possession, and then go forward again with numbers.
And it paid off as we look at that collision with Turgu and McMahon. Both players are up and okay. Didn't need the trainer. As this will result in a free kick for FC Cincinnati. Both these teams coming into tonight's game, 13 goals against. There's a very in-depth discussion with Polak, Walker, and Akoli. Akoli steps over. The delivery from Polak on the backside. Nothing doing there for Nicholson, who crashes in to, I believe, the back post that's holding up the net.
Yeah, he might be. Oh, he's getting up. He's thinking he might be up. Yeah, he might be okay. I mean, that was a great ball, bending ball going on, looking for him to get a head or just a foot in or just a body on that ball, but it was just a little bit too hard for him.
Gomez will put this into play. 1-0. Rhinos lead it in the 37th minute. Unassisted goal from Mike Garzi, but so many more pieces of the puzzle to that goal than the score sheet will show. Santos to James. Now Fall to Ugarte. Plays the 1-2, but broken up by Wiedemann. McMahon. Well, we mentioned Cincinnati coming in 7-0-4 in their last 11 games. Last loss for them was April 16th, 3-2 against a team that's quickly becoming their arch rivals, Louisville. Good hustle from Forbes. And a good job finished there by Farrell.
It's a great hustle by Forbes there. Great hustle to get back to win that ball.
There's Fall to Toch.
I mean, the Rhinos got to be patient here now. I mean, going into getting close to the end of the first half. So just got to be patient. They're up 1-0. So again, just look for your opportunities to go forward and make those connections, connect those plays to move forward.
James, far side. There's a nice touch out of the air. Plays it back to Farrell, but a heavy touch picked up by Polak. Stevenson for Wiedemann. Ugarte defending here. McMahon in support. Wiedemann. Toch gets the poke on it. Back to Bone. Now Polak. Outside to McLaughlin. 1-on-1. Tries to cut in around James. James is still there, and Farrell comes in to help out. 39th minute, the Rhinos lead at 1-0. I'd like to welcome everyone watching along the USL Broadcast Network and welcome everybody to Rhino Stadium. I'm Joe Giuliano along with Darryl Stewart. 34th minute goal from Mike Garzi unassisted, giving Rochester the 1-0 lead in the first ever meeting between the Rhinos and FC Cincinnati. Cincinnati coming in undefeated in their last 11 games at 7-0-4. Rochester has been up, down, in, and out, looking for some consistency now.
Yes, they are trying to find some consistency in their play, and I think that's one of the things that the coach, I know, he's looking for. Because every game we saw is that he has a different lineup. He's trying to find that set lineup that he can move forward. You know, going into going forward to the end of the season, or going into the playoffs.
There's Gomez, who's starting tonight. Plays it to Farrell. Now Turgu. Pressured quickly by Walker. Gets it to Wallfall. Out of the near side for Ugarte. It was key in that setup for Mike Garzi's goal in the 34th minute. Walewski flicks it into space, but Nobody working off of him there. As it's Hildebrandt, his 16th appearance of the season. Nicholson, back to Hildebrandt. Now Bone, a 27-year-old veteran, has played with Chicago and Philadelphia in MLS. Also with Wilmington in the USL. Former Rhino McMahon, double team still. Able to find Wiedemann out to Stevenson. Knocks it off of Wall Fall. This will be another corner kick. Fourth corner kick of the game for Cincinnati in the 42nd minute.
Yep, I mean, you got to be careful here with these corner kicks now because, again, set plays, some teams capitalize. They work on set plays a lot and capitalize on these set plays. So Rhinos got to be careful here going into the end of the first half.
Polak, who was on loan to the Rochester Rhinos back in 2013 from the Revolution, has the near side corner kick. Good ball into the box, and Gomez gets the ball and a piece of Farrell as well. Hey, got to get the job done, right?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I believe he actually probably communicated with his defender just now because he basically took that ball right off his head.
There's the goal scorer, Mike Garzi. He's been with Rochester since 2014. Hadn't scored. Now he's got 2 this season. Turgu, nice touch. On the near side, Ugarte coming in again. Driven ball into the box.
That was a great run. Great ball back from Turgu to Ugarte. And he was looking for Volaski coming in and drive it. All Volaski has to do is just get a foot touch on that ball and redirect it into the goal. That was a great defender by the Cincinnati defender.
First corner kick for the Rhinos in the 43rd minute. And Ugarte starting as a left back tonight. Very impressive coming out of that position as we look at it again.
Yep, I mean, very impressive. I mean, I know he's offensive minded and he can get forward, which I believe that's one of the things that the coach is looking for.
Forbes, corner kick. Volaski called for the shove in the back. And give Turgu credit. Coming out of the central midfield, Sofian Turgu, the 24-year-old. The Southern New Hampshire University product. Just the weight on his passes, so precise, and it's just right for the on-rushing player.
I mean, it is. I mean, just great touch of the ball. I mean, the pace of the ball, the weight of the ball when he hit that ball, for a pass to his teammates.
Intercepted by James. To Volaski. Still Volaski, but helping out defensively is Polak. McLaughlin. Worked off by Volaski. Played behind Dos Santos. And it's Nicholson, the Englishman. Play it now to the former Rhino, Pat McMahon. Approaching midfield. Play it short to Bone. 44th minute. A 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. These two teams will do it in Cincinnati on August the 24th.
And there Turgu again doing a great job defensively.
For Turgu, only his 8th appearance of the season, the late acquisition. And once he gets his rhythm and his mark, he is going to be very creative out of the midfield. It already is.
Yes, I mean, he's a great complement to Forbes in the midfield there. I mean, just a great player.
There's Nicholson. Bone. From McLaughlin. James gets the head on it, but only as far as Polak. He'll touch and deliver. Header from Wiedemann. Off the mark.
I know the Rhinos are closing the minutes of the first half is trying to get everyone behind the ball so they can just ride this one out to going into halftime with the 1-0 lead.
We're in the 45th minute. No stoppage time called for here. As this one will be coming to a close, most likely on this ensuing goal kick from Gomez. So send the troops downfield. Turgu, a nice little flick. Dos Santos looking for Volaski. McMahon just gets a header on it, but Turgu played behind Dos Santos. Forbes will try again with a shot.
Yeah, why
Way
not?
off the mark.
Yeah, why not? Take it. I mean, end of closing minutes. He's winding down on top of the box. Why not take it?
That brings half number one to a close at Rhino Stadium. Let's go back to the 34th minute and the only goal of the half. It's Canardo Forbes. A quick touch forward, but Ugarte, look at that hustle. As we'll try to slow it down for you if we could. To look at the goal from Garzi.
And again, great patience there to finish that ball.
There's the service from Ugarte. Good save by Hildebrand initially on Dos Santos. And again, the patience for Garzi, knowing to lift it up and over the keeper.
He has a great patience. I mean, he looked, he had the time, see where the keeper is, see where the defenders are, and just lift it right over the keeper into the back of the net.
There's a look at it from the wide angle. Ugarte did everything he could to keep that one in play. And Garzi making no mistake from the 6. His second goal of the season. Second goal. Chance to watch a couple of those games. That rocks all game long.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are pulling MLS numbers, into their stadiums. Again, because of the product that they're putting on the field. It was like when the Rhinos was here many years ago when they started. I mean, we're pulling even better than MLS teams. We're coming out to watch the Rhinos. So, I mean, if you have a good product, you're going to get fans. You're going to get players who want to be part of your team. So, I mean, again, it comes with a winning product also. I mean, it's a combination.
Second half is underway. No changes for the home side or the visitors from Cincinnati. As it's Voleski working outside to Ugarte, who's been busy overlapping against McMahon and Wiedemann. Turgu over the head of Dos Santos. Picked up by McLaughlin. USL Team of the Week, Jimmy McLaughlin.
I mean, the key in the second half of the Rhinos, again, they got to continue doing what they did in the first half. I mean, waiting for the opportunities to possess the ball and find those spaces that Cincinnati is leaving open. Because, again, when Cincinnati is moving forward, they're moving forward with numbers. They're leaving 1 and 2 defenders at the back. So when the Rhinos possess that ball or intercept that ball, they have to continue using that space.
Oh, good ball. Okoli denied on a save from Gomez. For those of you who weren't aware, in the 26th minute, Okoli rocked one off the crossbar on a laser. And that time, another good look at goal for the 23-year-old.
I mean, again, number one. He's like the number one shot taker for Cincinnati, and he got chances where high percentage chances to score goals. I mean, the first shot he has was a rocket off the post. The second one wasn't that hard of a shot, but again, he put it on target, and that's why they're scoring these goals.
He's got 7 goals and 2 assists. Signed as a homegrown player by the Sounders back in 2014. Then moving to the Revolution, where he played 5 games last season in MLS. But he has taken 20 shots of the 92 by Cincinnati's on goal this season. No bad giveaway there, picked up by Forbes. Still Forbes. Behind Voleski. Loose ball, Hildebrand. A 27-year-old former Minnesota keeper in the NASL makes the save.
Yeah, it was great come off his line there. Keeper came off his line to intercept that ball. I mean, that was a great move for him.
Kenny Walker looking for a goalie, but it's McLaughlin who finds it instead. McLaughlin winds up and fires to win the 5th corner kick of the game. McLaughlin showing some early energy here after picking up the game-winning goal over Bethlehem last week. 3rd time he was selected to the USL Team of the Week. McLaughlin having a good season, 3 goals and 2 assists.
And you can see McLaughlin, as soon as he picked up that ball at the top of the box and he's moving to his right, all he was thinking in that situation was to take a shot to put it on target, which he did.
It's Polak, 5th corner kick. This one from the far side. Headed away by Farrell. Bone. Back to Polak. Poked away by Toch. Throne coming up here for FC Cincinnati, 3-1-2 away from home. And by the way, the game on Saturday against Bethlehem at Nippert Stadium, 17,380. Those big numbers fueling hopes that Cincinnati will make the jump to Major League Soccer. Quick service into the box, and Gomez did a good job to handle that one.
Yes, he did a great job. I mean, he saw it coming over. Instead of letting the ball bounce and give an opportunity to the Cincinnati forward, he came and picked it up before he even hit the ground.
Forbes tried to drive it into space, but Polak gets it to Delbridge, who had a tough first half. We'll see if he can settle down here in half number 2. Marcos Ugarte stepping back to win another header, and he's been good up and down today.
Yeah, he's been the key to me. I mean, in that first goal, the goal that scored, even the only one and only goal that scored, I think he should have got an assist in that one.
I agree. He won't show up on the score sheet, but he did a ton of work. As usual, he's a hard-working player, and he's playing at the left back position tonight.
Yeah, he is. If he's playing in defense or he's playing in midfield, he's such a hard worker.
Ugarte split his college career at Providence and Michigan. He's had a good one tonight. McMahon and Turgu battle. And they're going to call McMahon for the foul against Turgu. They've had a couple of run-ins tonight.
Yes, they did. And again, I think this is the toughest I've seen Turgu play.
Yeah.
I mean, normally Turgu is a finesse, nifty, make those nice passes to his teammates. But I think tonight he's just playing a tough, old-fashioned kind of soccer game here, which I kind of like. He changes the game up, depends on the opponent.
Absolutely. Akoli looking for McLaughlin. Picked up by the goal scorer, Garzi. McLaughlin comes in to win it back for Cincinnati. Now back to Delbridge. Cuts it around Voleski. Plays it to the Englishman, Nicholson. Go outside to the former Rhino McMahon. Chips it forward. Toch. Popped up in the air. Little thigh pass. And Ryan James gets it forward to Voleski. 2-on-2, Voleski dos Santos. It's still Voleski. 5 goals on the year, looking for more. Voleski's into the 18. Nicholson stumbles down. The ball still in the box. They still tangle up and finally cleared away by Delbridge.
That was a tough old fought by Voleski there. It was like a 4v1 in that situation, and he keep going. But unfortunately, he ended up losing the ball right in the top of the 6-yard box.
Forbes touches. Garzi slide, wins it back for Rochester, but taken away by Walker. Okoli tripped up by Toch. The restart coming up. It wasn't pretty, but it was a good, honest, hard effort from Voleski.
It was. I mean, there's like 1, 2, 3. There's another one coming. There's another one coming. I mean, he was a good, hard fought by him.
Here's McMahon, his one touch. McMahon will have a throw in on the far side. We're in the 53rd minute. The Rhinos with a 1-0 lead. McMahon, Stevenson leaves it there for Okoli. Jersey tug in, a takedown of Ugarte. And it'll be a free kick coming up for the Rhinos. Be sure that you get into the game through the USL social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league. You may even have a chance to speak with Daryl Stewart. So look at the head coach, John Harkes for FC Cincinnati. Actually interviewed for the head coaching position here in Rochester back in 2004 when Laurie Calloway was selected for the position, but he's ended up in a very good place, leading the way for FC Cincinnati. There's Ryan James forward to Mike Garzi. Back to James. Farrell the defender with 4 goals on the year. Plays it to Mr. Versatility, Sean Toch. And Farrell, really nothing else he could do there as McLaughlin was closing the gap.
Yeah, if Farrell in a situation like that, he just tried to hit it off of the defender just now. But, yeah, the defender was aware of that. He just moved out the way and let it go out of the bounds.
I'll call that Ryan James in the middle of the park. He'll be the captain. Kenny Walker, the 27-year-old. Take it. Delbridge to Polak. Chips forward over the head of Stevenson, the winner of the USL Goal of the Month for June. For his June 18th goal against TFC2. Picked up 37% of the vote. Stevenson with 2 goals on the season. It's to the far side, Wiedemann to McMahon. Shots, 6 for the Rhinos, 5 for Cincinnati. Corner kicks 5-1 in favor of FC Cincinnati. Hildebrandt, who's gone the whole way this season, switches it to the far side. Bone. Good ball into the 18. No one there but Farrell to knock it away. McMahon heads it down to Corbin Bone, the veteran who's been with Chicago and Philadelphia in Major League Soccer. Finds Polak. Good ball forward. Stevenson. Akoli turns, fires! Just wide. He's knocking on the door, but he just can't kick it open.
Yeah, he is knocking on the door. I mean, that was a great ball into the middle for him. And even before he even touched the ball, he just turned and swung it and hit it onto goal. Just a little bit too wide. But, again, they got to keep an eye on him because I think he's hungry right now.
That's a nice ball from Polak. Give Okoli credit, too. I thought that one was going to pass behind him, able to kind of change the direction of his run.
Yes, he did. I mean, just a little shift of the body, and he was able to have the ball right in front of him to swing and put it on target.
There's Okoli again to Wiedemann. Now to McMahon. Polak. Good step here. Ryan James has been strong at right back tonight. Forcing Cincinnati to restart. Given away. Turgu. Oh, a hard tackle there from Nicholson, who goes at Dos Santos. But Ugarte there to turn on the Jets. He'll slow him down now. Turgu.
And this is where the Rhinos need to now possess the ball and look for those gaps.
Farrell. On the far side. McMahon heads it away from Turgu. Wiedemann. Wiedemann, the former FC Dallas draft pick. Never will make it here to the near side. James will head it forward, but the powerful midfielder Kenny Walker gets it back from Stevenson. McLaughlin. Good move inside. Looks, delivers. All the way to the far side, Wiedemann. Stevenson, the one-timer out of the air and off the frame.
And again, the Cincinnati FC is going back to what they did in the first half, is where he's moving the ball from side to side, and then they try to dump it into the corner for a run-on player to get an opportunity to go at goal.
Trainer being called onto the field. It looks like it's Marcos Ugarte who's going to need a look at from the Rhinos training staff. Down on all fours inside the 18, finally rolls over and will try to get to his feet. Didn't see what the contact was.
Hey, look when the ball was served over into the box. It looked like the offensive player came behind and I think bounced him in the air. He never saw him. He was just pedaling back, and he came up, and he actually looked like maybe his knees caught him either in the thigh or into the ribs.
Ugarte is up. No intent there from Wiedemann, who got up clean to win that header, put it back across the goal mouth, but Ugarte will have to come off and wait for the referee's signal to return to play. And while we have a break, let's mention that Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. We're in the 59th minute. Mike Garzi's goal back in minute number 34. All that separates these two. Some opportunities both ways. As again, they're looking to get Okoli in, and Gomez quickly off his line. They'll play it short to Toch. Rhinos are home again on Sunday. 6:05 right here at Rhino Stadium as Orlando City B comes to town. Well, Cincinnati will be at St. Louis next Saturday.
I'm looking at Ugarte on the sideline here, looking ready to get back into the field. He looks like he's an elbow. He looks like to the face. Looks like he's had a little bloody nose there.
He's got the heavy bandage in the left nostril, and he is back onto the field. So we'll go 11v11 as Bone and Farrell combine. It was Stevenson actually won there by Farrell, but Stevenson comes back. This is Bone to McLaughlin. Farrell nicely breaks it up. There's Voleski, 1v3, tripped up by Corbin Bone, and it'll be a restart for the Rhinos. We're in the 60th minute. No changes yet for either side. A warm evening, 82 degrees. As the Rhinos will have the restart played to Toch. Central now for Voleski, who's shoved down and no call made. Here's Walker. Walker battling with Garzi. James steps in to knock it out of play. Be a throw-in for Polak. FC Cincinnati 3-1-2 away from home, 6-1-2 back at Nippert Stadium. Garzi just gets ahead on it to knock it away. McMahon. Now Stevenson. Wiedemann. Stevenson, good move. Forbes, good job to come back and help out defensively.
It was a great move there by Wiedemann. One touch to run around the defender. And Forbes was there to save that.
Offside flag did come up if Okoli did try to make a play on it. But Gomez there to get there. Gomez will take his time, regroup the troops. Nice punt up and over midfield. We'll call Voleski for the foul. Fans wanted Delbridge to be called for climbing up the back.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the ref saw. I mean, he actually, I don't know if he thought that Voleski didn't jump for that ball. He just stood there. But clearly you saw he went over and tried to climb over his back to get the ball.
62nd minute, first change of the game. It's Austin Berry coming on, replacing Paul Nicholson. For Berry, his 6th appearance of the season. He had missed the last 12 games due to a quadriceps injury that he suffered back on April 29th in a training session. So the veteran Berry comes in for John Hark's side in his first appearance since April of 29th. Some good news there for Cincinnati, getting a key player back onto the field. Both teams heavy activity on the sidelines. It's only one of 5 substitutions. As this ball's into space for Dos Santos. Tripped up in the box. Referee will point to the spot. Penalty kick coming up here. It was delayed. He looked at his assistant, and I believe he got confirmation. This should be a card as well, and it is a yellow card. And it's going to go to Delbridge.
Yeah. It is. It was a beautiful ball that played over the top. I mean, the Santos possessioned himself beautifully, and if you notice what he did, he put his body between the defender and the ball. So if the defender tried to get to the ball, he has to go through him, which is definitely a foul in the box right there, which is a great call.
And a yellow card is what the result is for Delbridge, who had a tough first half. At that time, he got a situation where Dos Santos was in behind him. And I think Garzi is pleading with the official to say, hey, he's the last defender. That should be a red card.
I believe the rule has changed on that one, too. I think if it's the last defender within the box, you get a yellow card and a PK. But if it was outside the box and the last defender, then you'll get an automatic red card.
Thank you for the clarification. Yes. And that is what has exactly happened here as we're in the 64th minute. Dos Santos, he will take the PK. Hildebrandt is back on his line. Dos Santos winds, fires, goal! 2-0 Rochester in the 65th minute. Dos Santos, his third of the season. Why not take it? He was the one who was tripped up.
Yes, I mean, he was, rewarded. He worked for that. He positioned his body perfectly between the man and the ball to get that PK. Why not reward him with the PK?
65th minute, the Rhinos now have a 2-0 lead, and Hildebrandt goes the wrong way, and Dos Santos neatly tucks it home to add a little cushion to this Rhinos lead.
Yeah, but again, the ball that came from Farrell was fantastic. It was beautiful. He looked up, he saw him, and then the Santos just played it perfectly by putting his body between the man and the ball.
Calm and cool on the finish. The big man, Dos Santos, from Mindelo, Cape Verde, had 8 goals last season. Picks up his third to go along with 2 assists and give Rochester a 2-0 lead. Turgu. Zaleski flag is up for offside. Initially, Turgu was lining up to take the PK, and then there must have been some sort of discussion because it was Dos Santos who ended up with the honor.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the call came out from the sideline from the coach, or maybe the players decide, hey, let Dos Santos take it.
Well, McLaughlin goes down on the challenge from James, who will get a card here, and it'll be yellow in the 66th minute.
Yeah, that's definitely a card because he came with the studs up, and in a situation like that is dangerous, and the referee's going to definitely give you a card in a situation like that.
McLaughlin still down on the turf after the challenge from Ryan James. He's up, and it'll be a restart.
And this
it's
restart.
This
restart here could be very dangerous. I mean, I see the coach is telling everyone to go into the box.
The delivery looking for a Coley, but headed outside where Stevenson will regroup and try to get around Turgu. And Turgu will take a swipe at him, and foul call basically leads to a corner kick for Cincinnati.
Yeah, so that's like right at the corner, so basically a corner kick. And again, here's Turgu again. I mean, the finesse player, the playmaker is playing a great defensive game here for the Rhinos this evening.
It's Polak over to take it. Ugarte fronting the ball. We're in the 68th minute. The Rhinos lead this one 2-0. A lot of contact in the box, and Edwin Jurasevich, the official, says knock it off. There's Polak, good delivery. Barry's header. Couldn't get around it. It's up and out of play. Goal kick coming up here for the Rhinos. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL.
If you notice on that serve coming into the box there was two Cincinnati FC players going after that ball. I mean, they're playing right now with a sense of urgency because they're down 2-0, and I guess one goal will basically kind of get them back into it. So they're playing with a sense of urgency right now.
Looking to keep that unbeaten streak alive. Also looking to get a few points to at least go level with the Red Bulls or jump ahead of them. Currently Red Bulls with 32 points, FC Cincinnati with 31. Rochester with 22 could go level with Charlotte at 25 if this result holds. This is one of 4 games tonight in the USL. There's Bethlehem at Toronto, Seattle at St. Louis, and Real Monarchs at Sacramento. Farrell swerving ball, stays in play nicely. Garzi dumped by Delbridge as Hildebrandt will pick it up. Onto the far side for Barry. Pass intercepted and knocked out of play by Canardo Forbes, and this will give FC Cincinnati a chance to make their second substitution of the game. And coming off will be Eric Stevenson, and a familiar face to soccer fans. Omar Cummings, the 33-year-old Jamaican, will come on and make his 9th appearance of the season. Well, he may sound familiar because he played with the Houston Dynamo of MLS and also Colorado. The 33-year-old coming on has a touch now inside the 18. Good ball through the mix. Nobody on the end of it. As James hustles. And we'll keep this one as a throw-in for the Rhinos.
Well, Cummins' first touch of coming in on the field, his first touch was dangerous. A ball across the Rhinos' goal for someone to come on that one. So he's immediately trying to make an impact in this game.
Cummings with 1 goal and 2 assists this season for FC Cincinnati. It's Delbridge. Now James. Toch. Finally brought down by Polak. Voleski. James, Voleski. Tight space. Bone to Akoli. McLaughlin. Marked by Farrell. And Farrell comes in nicely to sweep away any challenge there from McLaughlin.
Yeah, that was a great challenge by Farrell there to win that ball and then get it out of there, out of the defensive area.
Throw in here on the near side looking for Dos Santos. He's tripped up. And Kenny Walker not happy with the way Dos Santos came in on the challenge. Referee will have a word and they'll make nice.
It's a good sportsmanship there. There's shake hands after that tackled.
James, good win in the air. Looking for Dos Santos, but headed away. Coley to Cummings. Cummings, the former Jamaican international, 35 appearances, 7 goals. McMahon will knock it off of Turgu, and this will give the Rhinos a chance. Make their first substitution in the 72nd minute. Bradley Camden will come on to make his 12th appearance of the season and replace Rochester's Christian Voleski. This change in the 72nd minute. First one of the game for Bob Lilly's side.
Yes, I think Bob Lewis now bringing in Kandem is he's more of a defensive player, and you take out Velasco, who's an offensive player. So I think he's looking now to maybe clog the middle up a little bit more to sustain this lead.
A touch outside to Turgu. Now central, Camden's got some space. He'll take a touch forward. He's got James to his right. He goes left instead. Camden on his left foot outside to Turgu. Looks to set up something special here. Into the box. Dos Santos header. Knocked away by Delbridge, and Barry knocks it over the end line. Second corner kick of the game for the Rhinos.
I mean, Camden just came in, and he's making an impact again immediately for the Rhinos. Is coming in just like Cummins is doing for Cincinnati. Again, I know the coach is looking for Camden to, even though he has that defensive skill, he also can be an offensive player, and he has that skill. So again, he's looking for him to be that kind of a hybrid player right now, defensively and offensively, because he take Voleski out of the game.
Corner kick on the far side, Canardo Forbes. Delivers. One hop in the box. Coley will let this run out of play. Goal kick coming up here for FC Cincinnati. If you look at the history of soccer, there's been a lot of pro teams in Cincinnati, but none able to stick. They had an A-League team, the Cincinnati Riverhawks, the Cincinnati Kids of the MISL. Nothing able to stick around for the long term, but the way FC Cincinnati is starting, it looks very promising.
Yes, it sure do look promising. I mean, hopefully they can break the mold of all these teams that's going through Cincinnati, and for whatever reason not sustaining. Hopefully they can break the mold here.
Just a little feather in their cap. On July 16th, they'll host Crystal Palace. This good ball into the box, and now it's going to come the other way as it goes to the PK spot for FC Cincinnati. And there was a collision in the box, sending one of the players down. It was Wiedemann who went down, and a lifeline here for the visitors. Here's a look at the replay.
It's a great chip ball into the box. It just get by the keeper, but the keeper actually play the offensive player instead of the ball, and that's why the referee's actually given a PK.
So Gomez with the contact on Wiedemann, and Sean Okoli will set it up from the spot. 75th minute. Big opportunity here for FC Cincinnati. Gomez on the line. Okoli winds, fires, goal! Cuts the lead in half in minute number 75. He's been knocking on the door in the run of play, but he gets it from the PK spot.
Yes, and now Cincinnati has a second life. I mean, this is what they're looking for, at least just to get one, to get back into the game. And basically, they're back into the game with this PK. And again, the referee made a great call. I mean, that's the right call because Gomez did not play the ball at all. He played the man. If he had at least touched the ball, maybe the referee said, well, he played the ball and then played the man. But he never played the ball. He just played the man, and that's why that was resulted in a PK.
Coley's 8th of the year. Cummings just enough pressure to force Toch and to knock it away for a corner kick in the 76th minute. Okoli sending Gomez the wrong way, similar to Dos Santos against Hildebrandt. And now Polak, who's been serving some good balls, has another chance from the far side. Left-footed in-swinging service. There's the delivery. Off the top of Barry's head and out of play. It'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos.
No, the Rhinos got to be careful here because, again, I think the FC Cincinnati is playing with some sense of urgency now because they know right now they're going against time. So they're playing with some sense of urgency. So the Rhinos now have to be more composure with their play going forward, and especially in the defensive third of their field.
Buckle your seatbelts. We'll be in for a finish here as it's 2-1 Rochester in the 77th minute. Turgu chasing this one down. Polak gets there first, plays it back to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt has 0.87 goals against average coming into this one. That'll go up just a bit after giving up 2. Here's Barry, the team captain, Kenny Walker. It's a heavy touch on the near side, where James will let this one roll out of play. And pick up a throw-in for the Rhinos. Farrell over to take it. Farrell making his 14th appearance of the season. Got his first professional goal against the Charleston Battery. We'll heave this one down the near side. Up and over Turgu. Dos Santos almost got there, but it's Barry with a last-second tackle. There's Bone. Cummings. Back to Bone. Delbridge quickly onto the near side for Polak. McLaughlin. Farrell coming in hard and knocks it out of play. Jimmy McLaughlin looking to keep that one in bounds, but Farrell gets shoved from behind by Okoli just outside the Rhinos 18. Referee's going to have him do the throw-in again and have a word with Cincinnati's goal scorer.
I think he's looking at that maybe inadvertently.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Looked pretty direct to me. Good touch from Pollock to McLaughlin. It's back to Delbridge. It's a driven ball, just can't get up and over the defense. And Dos Santos stretching the legs out. He's got speed. Fresh legs of Barry also there to make a defensive play, only as far as Canardo Forbes. Dos Santos. Forbes. Still Forbes. Top of the 18, the shot! Just wide. Weaving and dancing through the traffic is Canardo Forbes.
It was a great effort by Canardo Ford. I mean, he had 3 defenders on him and still get that shot off from a pass from Dos Santos. Great individual effort there.
Fall steps in to clear it back into the Cincinnati half. Forbes. Now Barry knocks it back. Toch. Strong chest pass there to Ugarte. Camden. Looking for Ugarte. Could be a good candidate for player of the match tonight. Oh, back to Walker. Looking to get it to Cummings, but wall fall. Gets the strong header to Dos Santos. Outside to Ugarte. Here's Camden. Still Camden. Just outside the 18. Wins a corner kick off of McMahon. He was looking for Turgu in the box, just couldn't get the space to him.
Yeah, he was looking, he made that move to free up Turgu in the box, but just the defender was so tight on him he couldn't make that pass. Again, Camden is making, he's working on offensively and he's working defensively. I've seen him make a 20-yard run, sprint back to make some defensive plays, and then he's back in the offensive part of the field.
Forbes delivery. Top of the 18, Turgu. Cummings comes in to knock it away, but Turgu still battles for it and wins it back for the Rhinos. Turgu. Almost got around Cummings, but Pollock there. Another layer of defense. Comes away with it, 81st minute. Walker, pressured by Turgu, wins another battle. This one out of play, though. We have throw-in coming up.
Again, Turgu is working. He's a workhorse in this game tonight.
Sonny Samuels, the hero of the 2015 USL Championship match. Getting his final instructions from Bob Lilly. As a quick substitution made, Derek Luke didn't even see him on the sidelines as no board was put up. McMahon comes off as Luke comes on for the former Rhino in the 82nd minute. Luke, the 23-year-old out of Monmouth University. Has a touch on it now, plays it. Central for Delbridge. Pollock. Taken away by Forbes. Forbes slowed up, has to play it back to James, foul called. It's Walker. And this will be another change on for the Rhinos, second one of the game, 83rd minute. Sofian Turgu, a good performance tonight from the Frenchman. He comes off, and it is Asani Samuels to come on his 14th appearance of the season.
I mean, a well-deserved round of applause for Turgu for his effort this evening. I mean, defensively and offensively, he worked. He was making tackles. He was putting his body in plays that I've never seen him played before like that. So, well-deserved round of applause for him coming off.
Definitely added a physical piece to the game tonight. We knew he had the technical. Now showing another component of his game. Played back to Gomez, has to hurry. Barry and Dos Santos collide. They'll call the foul. Just checking, it was Wiedemann who went down. The Rhinos 4-1-2 on home turf. Coming off a game that they really controlled at New York. But again, that stingy Red Bull defense. It's only given up 8 goals this season, able to keep Red Bull in that one and keep it scoreless. But really a dominating performance, I thought, by Rochester in that last game against a very good team. And we're seeing another good performance against a good team tonight in Cincinnati. And Dos Santos will pound it downfield.
Yeah, so great. That's in a situation like that. That's what you need to do. Just pound it down. Just get it out of your defensive third of the field and then regroup. Balance the field again so you can recover.
Delbridge is offering, headed away by Toch. Oh, what a move from Kennardo Forbes. Working it through midfield, and the pass is off the mark to Camden.
Yeah, he was trying to try to calm them through the defender. If that ball had gotten through, that would be in a dangerous situation for FC, and there could be resulting in a goal for the Rhinos in that situation.
McLaughlin, again held in check by Farrell. Bone. Luke. Walker. Cummings looking for the flick, couldn't get it. It's Garzi and the Rhinos. Flowing it up for James. Looking for Sonny Samuels. And Delbridge last to touch that one. And we'll bring another change into the game in the 86th minute. It is now Omar Mohammed coming on. And he is going to replace Andrew Wiedemann. It's the 4th change for John Hark's side. Mohammed, a 20-year-old, played 1 year of college soccer at Jackson College. He was born in Somalia before immigrating to Columbus, Ohio. It'll be his 10th appearance of the season. Throwing again for the Rhinos. Coming back the other way for Cincinnati. Polak. Delbridge. Bone. Yeah, it's a tough one. Hildebrandt's got to be careful.
Yes, yeah, he's got to be careful there. He got some good control there on the thighs.
87th minute, Barry will drive it long and into the box where Gomez, a 23-year-old who's got a 0.83 goals against average in 6 games played.
Again, Cincinnati still doing what they started in the beginning of the game, try to dump it in the corners and then, try to bring it back into the box area. But I think the Rhinos has adjusted to that play and now is winning those balls coming over.
Polak tripped up by Samuels. A free kick here for Cincinnati. Delbridge out to Barry. Barry, the 2012 MLS Rookie of the Year, plays it to Walker. Akoli for Cummings. Omar Cummings, 2011 MLS All-Star. Now it's Polak. No shortage of talent for this first-year team, FC Cincinnati. Mohammed hustles to keep it in play. Ugarte still battling as if it's the first minute. Cummings to Mohammed. Headed away by Garzi. There's Barry spinning away from pressure. Walker. To turn it off the chest. It's Bone. Couldn't make that pass. Walker gets it again. McLaughlin.
The pressure is really coming down on the Rhinos now, so if they can sustain this for the closing minutes, I mean, they definitely will come away with a victory here.
Cummings in a jersey tug there by Ugarte, who's got to be careful. He's got a yellow card already, and if this, or it was James who got the yellow card. I'm sorry, not Ugarte. So he's going to have to probably take a look at yellow as well. 89th minute. It's Ugarte who's in the book. And it'll be a dangerous restart here for Cincinnati. About 25 yards out, just to the left of Gomez. Yes, it's Bone and Okoli. We'll take a look at it along with Walker.
Yeah, this is a dangerous position for a restart, a set play for Cincinnati. Ugarte, I mean, I think he's just tired on that one, and grabbing the jerseys. I mean, when the jerseys are coming out of the shorts and pulling like that, I mean, the referee can see that from a mile away.
90th minute, huge opportunity, and wow, Delbridge way off the mark.
I mean, I kind of like that free kick. I mean, it's a little trickery in that one. I mean, between the legs and the other players try to hit it. I mean, he kind of caught everybody off. I mean, even the defensive players didn't know what was going on there. So I kind of like he just didn't hit it properly.
And that could have been the last opportunity that Cincinnati sees as we're in the 90th minute. And the Rhinos lead it 2-1. And it's Mike Garzi who's having some trouble with cramping. Now Beresford is getting ready to check in, but they're initially wanting him to come in for Canardo Forbes. But let's see if it's going to be Garzi who comes off instead for Beresford, and that'll change things up for Bob Lilly, I'm sure. Garzi takes off the captain's armband, switches it over to Canardo Forbes, who has it in his hand. We're not sure if he should put it on. He slowly puts it on. It looks like it is going to be Beresford for Garzi instead of Forbes. Mike Garzi, the first goal of the game in the 34th minute, a good performance from the Rhinos captain as he got his second of the season. Beresford comes on, the 23-year-old from Guyana. It'll be his fourth appearance of the season. We'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time. As Okoli's in the box. Great play by Toch. May have saved some points there for the Rhinos with that tackle.
Oh, what a tackle by Toch. What a play there. The offensive player was through right there, and he just stretched and tugged that ball from his legs. That was a great defensive play.
Into the box looking for Barry. Farrell is there first. Mohammed to Walker. Polak. Taken away by Forbes. Walker, though, anticipates, wins it back. Still Walker. Outside McLaughlin. Keeps it in play. A low cross. No pace on it. Knocked away by Farrell. Header goes down to Forbes. Barely got to him. We're in stoppage time. Rhinos lead it 2-1. 4 minutes called for. About halfway through that mark. That's Ugarte. Delbridge gets it to Cummings. Cummings all the way back on the defensive line right now for Cincinnati. Here's Mohammed. Cincinnati still with a lot of players back behind midfield. Okoli. Double teamed and taken away by Beresford. Santos all night long battling with Delbridge. They continue to go at it. Santos will run it down at the far corner and win a corner kick here for the Rhinos. As we're about 90 seconds away, and they're going to actually change the call now to a Cincinnati goal kick.
Yeah, I don't think the referee knew what to call, and the Cincinnati players put it in the box and played, and he said
he pointed to the corner initially.
Yep.
Bob Lilly and the Rhino staff rightfully upset. That could be a difference maker here. Out of play. Throwing for the Rhinos. Let's look at this last.
We can see it here. I mean, it was touched.
That's hard to tell.
Yeah, that was
a touch.
Yeah, that was just hard to tell right there.
Beresford tripped up with the ball. Okole shot off of Farrell. Picked up by Fall. Seconds away here from the final whistle. Pumped back into the box for McLaughlin. Heads it down at the 6. Okole shot. What a save from Gomez! Tomas Gomez, the save of the game, and keeping Rochester up 2-1.
That was a great save by Gomez. I mean, that was a beautiful flick by the forward player.
And this will be a corner kick, probably the last play of the game. Here's the save made by Gomez on guess who? Okole.
Yep.
Made himself big, denied the near post.
Yeah, it was a great save. I mean, he opened himself up and just.
Here's Bones' delivery. Keeper's in the box. Walker's shot, bouncing in the 18. And that is your final whistle as the Rhinos hang on for a 2-1 victory in their first ever meeting with FC Cincinnati. It was a wild finish here tonight at Rhino Stadium, and I think we saw two of the better teams in the USL tonight going at it.
Yes, we definitely did. I mean, it was a great game, a balanced game played between both teams. I mean, the Rhinos was played a great game. I think that their game plan going into this game was brilliant. FC Cincinnati took a lot of the possession, but then when Rhinos has the opportunities, the Rhinos actually utilize the opportunities and make it work.
Good work from Okole to get into that spot, but Gomez, at that point, you just make yourself as big as possible, and it doesn't matter what part of the body stops the ball, face, knee, it's all the same at that point.
Yes, and that's what Gomez definitely did. Yeah, he just opened up himself, make himself big, and just get something on that ball. Anything, just get something on that ball to deflect it away from the goal.
So with the result tonight, Rochester now 7-4-4, 25 points, level with the Charlotte Independents. For FC Cincinnati, they're now 9-3-4, and their last loss before this one tonight was April 16th against Louisville. They were 7-0-4 in their last 11 games coming into this one, so maybe a bit of a statement by the Rhinos and sending a message to the rest of the league tonight. Yes,
definitely. It's a statement by the Rhinos. I mean, I know the Rhinos want to get back into that position they were last year, at the end of the season going into the playoffs. And, they lost a couple of games, a few games back. But no, the Rhinos is getting back in their groove, getting back into their winning mode. And I think this is a great boost for these guys. And they're beating a team like Cincinnati, who's definitely one of the better team of this division in third place. To beat these guys, definitely the Rhinos is on a road to to send a statement.
Yeah, overall, like I said, I think we're seeing two of the better teams in the USL tonight here at Rhino Stadium. So the final score tonight, as we recap your scoring, Rochester 2-1. Garzi in the 34th minute, unassisted. Then in the 65th minute, Dos Santos on the PK, his third of the year. Minute number 75, Okole, he gets a PK for Cincinnati to make it 2-1. And that's where it ends tonight, as Rochester knocking off Louisville for the first time in 12 games. Louisville tasting a defeat here, and it comes at the hands of the Rochester Rhinos. Daryl, we will hook up again as another tough opponent comes into town, Orlando City B. They've got 22 points heading into tonight, and Rochester just 3 points ahead of them. Should be another hard-fought battle at 6:05 on Sunday.
Yeah, it should be another hard-fought battle, but again, as we said earlier, I think the Rhinos get into a certain groove that they want to maintain this winning mode and putting players on the team that I think the coach is getting the right mix at the right time to perform at this level.
All right, the Rhinos with the win tonight as they huddle around their former teammate Pat McMahon. Give him a nice round of applause. Some sort of presentation taking place. That's class to see the two teams still connected in some form.
Yeah, that's a class act right there. I mean, even though he's playing for a different team, I mean, I think some bonds, some friendship has already formed. And, I mean, you can't break that. Even though he's playing for that different team, while the game is going on, it's I'm not your friend, but after the game, we can shake hands and talk about old times.
And he hooks up with his former coach Bob Lilly. So that'll do it tonight from Rhino Stadium, as it is 2-1 Rochester over Cincinnati. Thanks to Darryl Stewart and our entire production crew. I'm Joe Giuliano saying so long on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.